Hello. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot Readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. I'm here 365 days of the year to take your 12 political questions. I take them out of the chat before I go on live. So anytime between like 11 a.m. and noon Central Time, Chicago time in the US, just put your questions in the chat and I'll make a list. And if you're watching this on replay, hello, you can go down into the description box. All the questions are listed out there, and I timestamp them as I go. So if you're watching this on replay, you can just pick and choose what you're interested in. Or I do recommend if you're thinking, I want to watch the whole thing, but I don't have, an hour and a half or however long it is. One of the things I often do is I actually play back longer videos I change the speed. I go down into the settings, which is the gear that pops up over here, and I change the speed to 1.25. So quite often I'll be able to still follow along just fine. So if that helps, perhaps. But you are always welcome to join us here in the chat. We have a fantastic community. I try to give you guys credit for your great comments. And yeah, we have epic troll slayers who keep us safe. Makes a huge difference. Thank you. And want to thank Kristen from Uncover the News for bringing the great headlines. Thank you. And also 10% of my income from everything Black and Orange goes to Feeding America at feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country. That's an ongoing thing. So, okay. One last bit of housekeeping, one last little bit here. Thank you, Diana Cachet, who got me these nails. Actually got me a few sets of nails. And these are gorgeous. This part's actually, it's actually kind of see-through, this part. But, and then there are these little gems. These are beautiful. Thank you so much. I absolutely love these. Sorry. I absolutely love these. Thank you. And one of the things I do is, just so you know, these are the containers I keep my nails in. And I've got them colors and what have you. Well, what I did was I actually printed out copies of the gift receipt, and I fold them up and I've put them in the bottom of where these nails are going to live. So thank you. That was very, very sweet all the way around. So thank you. So this will be right here where they go. And just wanted you to know. All right. So Darren says, I keep getting Tinder ads. I think my phone is hinting at something. Oh, yeah. I was thinking about that this morning. It's just like dating. Okay. Can I think about something else then? Anyway. Vanessa Pritchard is asking, what is the fate of Marjorie Traitor Greene with the anonymous in the case? I believe I read on that the other day, but I think she's... I know the one bit of astrology I'm going to go through today is I have another graphic about I'm starting to make and gather together graphics, kind of explaining what different people, that we read on often, what they're like, why are they the way they are, is there something in astrology that helps explain what's driving them, that kind of thing. So I've got one today for Marjorie Traitor Greene. So, and I think Yeah, that's gonna be number 9. So, and the anonymous thing I read on the other day, and I believe it was that they will uncover some, whew, that's quite some stuff. So, oh, art maker forever, you are not a slob. I am. I have Saturn on my ascendant. Uh, I I I breathe, therefore I organize. So, and I am starting to put together some videos on how I organize my creative business and that sort of thing. And yeah, I think it might blow a couple people's minds. Oops. Anyway. Frida Smet says, sorry, I would get crazy with nails like that. I don't know quite what that means, but I don't wear them all day. So, all right. At 6:30, we're going to be starting with Ukraine. Man. Art Maker Forever. Oh, I need to watch those videos. Well, I'm just starting to put them together. So when I have videos coming out, when I've got my blog going over at Book Art Media, which will also have the astrology stuff, I will let you guys know. So there'll be there's lots of stuff planned. But anyway. Andrew D, thank you for the 1.25 speed tip. Good. I'm sorry I can't speak faster. Oh, Trillium Treasures. Yes, I'm aware of that horrible story. So we're going to start at Russia. Okay, so Ukraine has rejected the Russian ultimatum to turn over Mariupol. What is in store for the besieged port city now? Oh, jeez. I wish I could say it's going to be something nice. Bless the Ukrainians. Divine Spirit, pour your energy down, your divine energy down on the Ukrainians, on the Ukraine conflict. Raise the vibration of everyone involved. Raise the vibration of everyone in the world to come together to end the violence, to bring peace, for comfort, since we are all connected always. Divine Spirit, pour your energy down on the conflict in the whole world. Fill the whole world with divine energy for the best of all, for health, for happiness, for kindness and compassion, for an understanding that we are all in this together. Thank you. All right, so what's going to happen to Mariupol? Oh, Frida Smith, that's sweet. That's good. Mariupol. A lot of tears. That's not really a surprise. I'm kind of concerned I'm just going to get exactly what we think this would be. Judgment. Well, for what it's worth, Biden's meeting with the EU, I think it's this week, and then he's going to Poland. And this may spur more support. Oh, thank you, Linda. Thank you. So it may spur more support. Strength. Ace of Cups. Nine of Swords. 9 of Cups. It's going to have an effect. Ukrainian people are still holding on. The West is, there's more and more sentiment to help the Ukrainians. They're in just trying to sleep, and all there's this constant bombing going off. Read an article this morning about around the country, any places that have a subway, any places large enough to have a subway, how people are just, they go out during the day to go home to try to get some food or do whatever, and then in the evenings and overnight they all go down into the subway, and people try to sleep in the subway cars when they can, because it's a couple of degrees warmer than sleeping on the concrete. There was one nice thing in that. There was a subway worker who, his wife and young child basically had moved in the subway, and the wife spends her time making tea for people and handing out marshmallows. Those are good people. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's the subway platforms, and yeah, it's cold. But these are merchants who are saying we're more, well, the Western merchants, but it's more and more companies and whatnot saying we're not going to work with Russia. So this inspires more sanctions against Russia. Still looking at you, Nestle. I haven't heard that you've finally said that you're not going to sell stuff in Russia. Oh boy. Oh, thank you. Oh, Kevin has... Oh, here we go. Today I was told by a deep state conspiracy family member, oh, we all have those, Russia is saving the world. Oh, because Ukraine is the head of the snake and the root of all evil. He does one reason with this degree of brainwash. Yeah. Well, that's what Cawthorn's saying. Still saying Ukraine is corrupt and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. So, Mariupol. History books. A big part of the history of this attack on Ukraine will be the attack on Mariupol. 4 of Pentacles. Six of Swords, 10 of Cups, 3 of Swords. They're running out of supplies in a big way. Food. It's incredibly sad. There are those who are trying to leave, which is good. Trying to get somewhere safer if they can, because you're taking your life in your hands, even trying to leave the city. But I've got a good question. I've got a good card right in the middle. I've got a 10 of Cups. It feels like, I don't know if it's drone strikes, but it feels like people looking up in the air, like celebrating, like feeling better because Ukrainians in the air are attacking the Russians, or drones, or something. And when it's all over, the city's going to be just, it's going to be heartbreaking what war has done to the city. But I've got a good card right in the middle. So let's hope what that means is with the EU and Poland, with the EU, with Biden talking to the EU and then Biden talking to Poland, that it'll make a big positive difference. I didn't get the worst of the worst cards. Sometimes that's good. So Jolie S. is saying, I watched the Frontline documentary they did on Putin. Very well done, and answered the why now question of Putin's war. Is that new? Is it older? King of Cups. That's Biden. Two of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Four of Cups. Russia's not listening to anything. Russia's economy has to collapse. That's basically what has to happen here. So I'm getting there, but at least it's not 100% bad. It's 95% bad. I wish I had better news here. Well-being and health, you're agreeing with me. Oh, about Russia's economy is going to have to collapse for Putin to change. Barb Moody says they cannot surrender. If they do, then Odessa will get the same treatment. I believe that. I believe it. It feels very much like Biden is determined to help. You know, for all that America is the eagle, and you know, Russia is isn't their symbol the bear? The U.S. is a Cancer. Our sun is in Cancer, and when you get our mama bear back up, it's one of the reasons we have such a huge military, because we're sun in Cancer and mama bear, and then we have our ascendant. How the world sees us, we are. It's in Sagittarius, which is about foreigners, foreign travel, foreign. So we get involved overseas. We also are a melting pot. But anyway. Yikes. 1830. 1830. The EU seems to be divided on whether a full ban on oil and gas from Russia is possible. Basically, lots of people think there is, except for Germany, because Germany gets a lot of their oil and natural gas from Russia. So is a full ban on energy imports from Russia possible? And if so, will the EU agree to it? Well, we know India just bought 3 million barrels, I think it was. EU. All right, so we're looking at a ban on. Now that I've got a card for the EU. The cards, I don't always necessarily get specific cards for specific countries. It's quite often just which country is more liberal, which country is more conservative, which country is authoritarian. Cups, Pentacles, Wands. Alrighty. Ban on Russian oil and gas. Knight of Pentacles. See, that's where you've got to make it. That's where it's going to hurt. Wellbeing and Health says Germany just signed a gas contract with Qatar. Good. Oh, Linda Speece, thank you. I called Nestle customer service today to ask them why they're not leaving Russia. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Justice. 10 of Cups. 8 of Swords. 5 of Swords. Banning Russian oil. Western countries do have options. This is trying to level the playing field, trying to bring some justice here and hem in Russia. But I've got an insult to injury here, and I've got fruits of labor. So this, I don't think this is going to do it. Kathy Lamson says Germany was going to look elsewhere. India seems to be a problem. That's what I'm feeling right here. Russia's still getting some money. Now, the good news is the good news here is that these are minor arcana, and it doesn't, I don't know that it's going to be enough to save the Russian economy. But banning Russian oil, will they be able to ban enough Russian oil and gas to really sink the economy? I'm not sure, Fran. I've got my questions, though, today. Could we ask, would you mind throwing it in for tomorrow? Because I would like to look at it. Can they stop and with enough oil and gas sales? Because right now, Putin's, this is just, you buy Russian stuff, you are buying the artillery that is falling on Ukraine. Star. 2 of Pentacles working. It's going to help. It's going to help. This actually feels like the West, like Germany finding other places, doing what we can to try to help Ukrainians, and it does do some damage for what it's worth. But it's not going to be what we wish it would be. That's what the cards are saying. What the energy is saying. Stinky. All right, 24. Thank you guys for being here. This is the kind of stuff I would look at anyway, just on my own, but it's so much better when you're here. I am a new age political junkie from way back. So, okay. So, Russia has been trying to become fully self-sufficient and less reliant on others, therefore less vulnerable to sanctions for years. How long has Putin been planning to invade Ukraine? Was it his endgame, or did he expect it? Did he expect to devour it easily and roll into Poland? Has he been planning it with China? Oh my gosh, that's a whole bunch of questions. Okay, Russia's attempt to become self-reliant is not working well at all. Thank you, Pamela. What's the problem is that they don't have the high tech details, the screws for the planes, the particular chips for the whatever, and so the self-sufficiency thing isn't working as well as Putin wishes it was by a long shot. But how long has Putin been planning to invade? Has this been... Ugh. Good grief. Seriously, it's like... Reading on Putin, it's like... It's just short of reading on the Unabomber or Jeffrey Dahmer. It just... Ten of Swords. Oh, he's been planning a lot for a long time. And especially, there has been talk that he definitely spent the last couple of years during quarantines and things like that, poring over old maps of the USSR. And yikes. All right. How long have you been planning this, Putin? Four of Swords, Lovers, Six of Swords, Knight of Swords, Hierophant. Actually, this starts with a... He wasn't... I don't know that he was necessarily going to focus on Ukraine. And he was expecting more from Trump. But once this was over, he started... Once Trump was gone, this whole thing... I mean, he'd already taken over Crimea in 2014. But I've got it. He was thinking about it, but it wasn't like this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. He may have been like debating how to do this, how to. He's trying to revive the USSR with all of the Baltic states and all of that stuff. Trying to figure out how to go about it. But Ukraine, he decided, and then he started just trying to move things quietly in that direction. And then, boom, government sending the troops. So, yes, he was planning it in the sense that he had already taken Crimea, but it's more, it's bigger than that. It's not, it's the USSR. That's really what this is about. That's his thing. Hello, Felisa. So at 29, has he been planning this with China? Been planning this with China. He doesn't trust China. He trusts no one. He is full-blown paranoid. He does not trust China. Was he planning something like this with China? I scratch your back, you scratch mine, or whatever. Queen of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. No, China. This is the manufacturing, the financial planning, the manufacturing for the West. This is Russia going in and stealing Ukraine. This is a thief card. And this is Putin's paranoia. So that's what I'm getting there. Okay, at 31, Grateful Anne Murray. I like that. That's a beautiful, beautiful tag. 31. What type of political party do you see for Russia following Putin? So what kind of political party will be in power after Putin? What kind of political party will be in control of Russia after Putin? Page of Pentacles. This is you know, they say small d Democrats, small d democracy, like for the common people. I got small c capitalism, as in not being, trying to change things so it's not a kleptocracy, which is what it is now. Knight of Wands, Nine of Cups, King of Swords. I've still got far right going forward, like, but there's a lot more. This is the Merchant card. This is the Rule of Law. So there's actually much more of this. So they don't get rid of that's a card for the reading. So they don't get completely rid of far right sentiment, but there's the playing field becomes less corrupt. That's what I'm getting. That would be good. Queen of Cups, Ace of Wands, Hierophant. Okay, so this whole kleptocracy far right movement that has power now will be on the defensive. If the government it's not going to be like flipping a switch and suddenly they're going to be it's going to be a liberal democracy. I'm not getting that. But I'm getting moving away slowly from the worst of the corruption, maybe. Mm-hmm. Sherlock Holmes, hello. Why, hello, Mr. Holmes. They can't go from 0 to 60 in 10 seconds. They have to take small steps. Yeah. Okay. All right, so at 34:30, Jen Glenn had a question. 34:30. An ammonia leak at a chemical plant in Sumy broke last night. It was caused by a Russian airstrike. Is this the beginning of Russian chemical warfare? Russian chemical warfare. Queen of Pentacles. Sun, Page of Wands, Six of Swords. I'm not getting chemical warfare here. What I'm getting is the leak at the chemical plant saved the Russians some money. It's like, so they were able to do some more damage. It's an accident that it's really an accident, but isn't. They're not sorry it happened, but it's not full-blown chemical warfare. And I'm not getting chemical warfare here. I'm getting just attacks and children having to leave areas. If they were going full-blown chemical warfare, I would expect to see some heavy-duty devil, tower, hanged man, major arcana, ugly death cards, ugly. And I'm just, this is all minor arcana. So fingers crossed, we're not going to have to worry about that. They're not going to have to worry about that. Please. Okay. So moving on to some domestic stuff. Oh, hippie gypsy, thank you. Thank you. All right, so at 37, Mo Brooks, which normally does not make me a happy person to be reading on anything about Mo Brooks. But Mo Brooks joins the growing list of Republican senators. Okay, there are like 3 that I know of. But a growing list of Republican senators who are running on the promise of firing Mitch McConnell as the head of the GOP in the Senate. The 2 other people I've never heard of, to be honest. Okay. Are Mitch's days at the top numbered? Will his people turn against him? Mitch, please. I'm getting a mental image of him super gluing himself to his chair. Big wooden chair, super glue, sitting down. Taylor B, I bet your house phone is a Panasonic. I keep going to my bedroom to answer it. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not mine. So I assume it is, but I don't know. I just have my cell phone. That's all I've got. So. 4 of Pentacles. Well, if you think Republicans are feeling backed up against the wall now, just wait. Wait for the committee. Star. And I'm sorry I'm sorry about if the phone. I hope it's not messing up your day. Star, 6 of Cups, World, Knight of Cups, Queen of Wands. I keep getting Democrats retaining power in the Senate. And Mitch, I don't pick up that Mitch is going to be majority leader again, one way or the other. There are some people on the far right who are against him because he's not radical enough, which tells you a lot about them. But this is, again, feels like Democrats being able to move forward their agenda. And this is hope. And this is, I'm telling you, between the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court is going to hand down what they're going to hand down in a few months or a couple of months, whenever it is, and the January 6th Select Committee. I just don't. he's done. He's I don't get him being majority leader ever again. Which I swear would make him sit down and cry if he realized that. That made me laugh, picturing Mitch trying to glue himself to the chair. See which I got. He thinks it's his. The majority leadership is his. His. There's no, gosh, somebody else might take. There's none of that. I pick up absolutely not. There's no question in his mind. No doubt. Ashley says May or June, I think, for the SCOTUS, not 100%. Oh. In my handy dandy planner here, I have got the current, that is the current Supreme Court calendar. And the days in blue, I believe, yes, non-argument sessions marked in blue. Argument days are marked in red. Conference days are marked in green. Holidays are circled in black. But the blue, non-argument sessions marked in blue, that's when they come out with, that's when they generally come out with the big decisions. And especially in the last 2 months of this session in May and June. So, you know, there wasn't a day in February. March 7th was the only day in March. There's one day in April 4th. And then there's 4 in May and 4 in June. So May or June, maybe April 4th. So that's when the Supreme Court is going to be handing down one of the worst rulings ever. Women's rights, not on our watch. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kevin, saying that's impressive. It's online. So, Courtney, thank you. Is it Ellers? Courtney Ellers, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. So at 43:30, let's move on to Jill Schaefer-Hammond's question about Clarence Thomas. 43:30. Isn't it kind of shocking that Lindsey Graham has come out in favor, saying nice things about Ketanji Brown Jackson? I just find that really odd, but just when you think you've got him completely figured out, he throws a curveball in there that just hints that he might be a human being under all of that wishy-washy beta male fawning. But anyway. All right. 40. Let me change this to 44, 45. So Clarence Thomas was recently hospitalized with an infection. His people are saying is not COVID, but includes flu-like symptoms. How bad is it? I'm not sure. Did I read on this? I can't remember if I read on this. Clarence Thomas. Pentacles. Oh, he has all kinds of conservative views to hand down, conservative decisions to hand down. Yeah. Jen Glenn says, I wouldn't necessarily say positive. Lindsay was making some borderline racist remarks towards her today. Well, Jen, I'm not surprised. Yeah. Okay. Hermit, Queen of Cups. This is isolation. This is healthcare. This is him getting better. So, but the main question was, is he disconcerted by the new Supreme Court nomination and her great qualifications? That was a thing I was going to share with you guys. Sarah sent me this fantastic graphic, and I would love to be able to say where it's from, but it doesn't say on it, but I'm going to share it anyway because I think it's very good. You know me, I do like to give credit wherever possible. But sometimes I don't know. What are you doing? Okay, it's doing something weird. What are you doing? What is that? Don't want collections. All right, this is just weird. All right, stop that. Whatever that was, just stop it. Let's open this in a program I know works. There we go. Dear Great Gussie. So this is about the Supreme Court justices. And I think you'll find it very interesting. Share screen, tab, no, window, here, share. So let me get rid of this. So you can see here, public high school, Ivy League law school, Supreme Court clerking, public defender, sentencing commission, district judge, court of appeals judge. Who's qualified? There's Stepford Justice over on the end. So, yeah. Something to keep in mind. All right. She is more qualified than any of them. Absolutely, Ashley. Exactly. That. Oh, Gary was saying, "Wow, what?" Gary Atkins was saying, "What more do you need?" Exactly. Oh, thank you, C. Johnson. Thank you. Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock is saying, "Yeah, any no qualified garbage gives anybody says is bunk." Yes. Yep. So, Clarence Thomas, how does he feel about her? Oh my God, this man is so full of himself. He is so full of himself. I'm surprised anybody can be in the same room with him and still breathe. He sucks up all the oxygen in the room. His head is so big, I'm surprised he can clear a door. There are few people I read on who are more full of themselves than he is. I mean, you hear about the elephant in the room. It's his head. It's just him being full of himself. I feel, when I read him, I feel like I should be like leaning to the side because it's just. Oh, the country's being destroyed by the liberal ideas, blah, 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 blah. King of Cups, star Biden's choice for the court. Just very straightforward. You give a Democratic president, you get liberal justice, but it's part of the undermining of America. Oh, please. Get a little tiny pin. So he's human again. Thank you, Tina. Tina Marie, thank you. All right. Okay. At 51, New York Times is reporting Project Veritas. If anybody's curious, Veritas, I believe, is Latin for truth. So it's like Truth Social. They're using it ironically. So New York Times is reporting that Project Veritas possibly came across Ashley Biden's diary illegally. Will there be any charges? Basically, somebody she was storing her stuff, and she had a diary in there, and the person who moved into that apartment, or I forget, don't quite understand where the stuff was being stored, but there was a Trumper who moved in where she had been living, and somehow got hold of the diary, and they were trying to make a big deal of it. Full. Full. Yes, Kevin, Brazil. Troll social. Yes. Yeah. Seven of Cups, 10 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, Lovers, Wheel of Fortune. Okay. She was this was a diary from she's had addiction issues, apparently. That's what this is. Her father became president. The right were just, rubbing their hands together and planning to somehow hurt Biden. It's really just the only people who cared were the people in the Trump cult, the far right cult. It just, if they had done something like this, maybe when Trump was first running for office, maybe it might have had an effect, maybe. But times have changed. Wheel of Fortune. Times have changed. Are there going to be charges? Stolen property and all. Invasion of privacy. Also, I wonder if she could prove that her therapist had told her to start keeping a journal. It would come under HIPAA laws, wouldn't it? Empress. Lovers. Ooh, there is some worry there. The card I got for the reading is the card of America. These are the far-right cultists that worried and working frantically to try to prove they had reason, they had right. It comes under just the American people need to know about a candidate, blah, 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 blah. Is that going to work? Oh, I hope they can get the Hezbollah thing. That would be great. Oh, sitting pretty. Four of Cups, Eight of Cups, Queen of Wands. I'm not getting a whole lot of charges here. I'm not getting anything that's going to make a big difference, unfortunately. I agree, Ashley. People have addiction health problems. I dislike how Republicans abuse that fact. It hurts people in recovery. True. Hello, Moranchi. And, it kind of goes back to me not having much good to say about, I call Trump Sniffy and I call his eldest son Sniffy Jr. Because I don't think they have anything to do with recovery, humility, trying to make amends. I think they're just off the rails. This poor woman. Gary Atkins says what Tom Cotton is saying right now is complete garbage. I don't know why they let him keep this in the record. Yeah, he starts talking and it's not worth listening to. That's addiction. Poor woman. Knight of Swords, Nine of Cups, Ten of Swords. This was really hateful to do this to her. That's all I'm getting. I wish I was getting more. I really wish I could say yes. They're going to find laws with teeth and they're going to use them against this jerk. Ugh. Infuriating. 58. Oh, I have something for you. 58. I've got a graphic. From an astrological standpoint, what makes Marjorie Traitor Greene so awful? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save that. I am gonna save that for last. That's what I'm gonna do. Little astrology to finish us out. We'll wait on that one. For right now, 58:30. We'll take Wonder Carol's question. Will Florida go blue soon? I'd be nice. I'd be happy if it would go, red, like actual republicanism, not black. The color black. No, we need to come up with some. Their Republicans are red, Democrats are blue, Republicans are red. But what is the far right? Maroons. What a maroon. Any chance Florida will go even purple? Marie Sutton says someone should show that Supreme Court graphic in the hearing that you just showed us. Sherlock Holmes says orange. Yeah, but I like calling them maroons. Also, it is the black and orange channel. I'm kind of protective of orange, but chartreuse, says Deseret. Deborah Murphy says at least they did not get the diary put in a book for everyone to read. I thought they did. I mean, they didn't publish it, but I thought they put it online. I believe they put the whole thing online. Marie Sutton says you should send the graphic to Chuck Schumer's office with your explanation. It's not mine. I didn't make it though. So, but I hear what you're saying. Florida. Oh boy. 10130. Florida. Blue Florida. Geek Hillbilly. Maroon. Perfect. Quoting Bugs Bunny. What a maroon. Okay, maroon it is. Far right, they're maroon. Maroonic. Florida. Florida, really? You're really using your higher wisdom here. Are you really doing your best here? I don't know if I'm angry, but I'm very disappointed. King of Wands. Oh, hello. 3 of Swords. Strength. Ace of Wands. Knight of Swords. I don't know why I just got that the Kushners are not going to stay in Florida. What? Okay. There's nothing blue here. There's maybe, no, it's not even standing up against the far right action. No, this is the far right taking action against women, gay people, trans. It's hurting. It's hurting my heart and hurting my stomach. This energy. That's Trump. That's DeSantis. That's this feels like the new flag of Florida, which isn't a strength of the woman closing the beast's mouth. This feels more like celebrating the orange beast. Florida as a person petting, encouraging the orange beast. Florida is maroonish. They're maroons. Ugh. I don't know, Kathy Lamson. I don't know where the Kushners are going to move, but I just they're not going to stay where they are. 10330. Tia Pickerel had a question. Will light workers be guiding our political discourse and decisions within the next 20 years? Ooh. Let's hope. So between now and 2042, will light workers be guiding our political discourse and decisions? I'm hearing yes and no. 10 of Wands. Well, right now we've got the burden of the far right, but that may not. Hopefully that won't always be the case. Star. 4 of Swords. Sun. Queen of Swords. Fool. This kind of new age, light working, less institutional religion. I do believe it sounds self-serving, but I do believe it will continue to spread. It will continue to grow as people, the Aquarian, coming to your own joining various groups, smaller groups who are all on the same level as far as the new version of religiosity goes. It would be more spiritual than religious. There's hope. There's less of the guilt and the garbage in the past. We're things will get better, but society itself is going to change quite a bit. We're not going to be able to convince everybody, though. And I think it'll be more open, but it's going to be a while. We are so burdened with this far right garbage right now, this low energy, low vibration muck. And we won't be able to convince everyone, but I think there will be improvements. So, there's that. Okay. 106.30, Frida Smet had a question that confused me a little bit. Will we be happier in September? I think Sarah said she asked why September, but I was wondering, do you mean November? But September. September 2022. Will we generally be happier in September 2022 when all the little kids have gone back to school? And we're starting to get just a hint that the heat of the summer will be dissipating. Ashley says, if I could live in meditation, I totally would. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Well, yeah, you've got that connection you can feel, and that's kind of what monks do. The Buddhist monks. So will we be happier by September? 1, 2, 3. Ace of Wands. Eight of Cups. 2 of Cups. Let's put it this way. We're not going to have Trump back in power, but I'm not going to be shutting down the channel. There'll be a lot of good. Not that the right will be accepting that. And of course, the far right will still continue to rain down muck. Because that's what they do. But, getting a lot of those kind of answers today. Could be worse. Could be better. Could be worse. Petrus Loretus says, the astrologers I've watched have said April is going to be bad for Ukraine, but that we're going to get another lull after that until 2030, when they think, the world war will start. I don't pick up on the world war at all. Matter of fact, in 2027, right around between 2025 and 2028, all 3 outer planets are going to enter new signs, so it'll be a big shift. But they're actually in really good aspect to each other. And if you go back to the video I made the other day with Andre from Astrology Alert, who was kind enough to come by the channel, if you go through the timestamps, there's a whole, there's a thing at the bottom. I think it's the last question or one of the last questions, asking about Civil War, World War III, astrologers talking about, the second half of the 2020s being, it's like, astrology doesn't say so. All right. So at 110, Linda Hauer had a question. What party will be doing the best in the Age of Aquarius? Well, the Age of Aquarius is 2,000 years long. we're just coming out of the age of Pisces that began around the year, what we call the year around 0. And, oh, I can use my overlay. Let me show you. I get so excited. Ding! Here we are. This is the basic chart. From the first sign, Aries, counterclockwise, to the last sign, Pisces. Okay. Ages, it has to do where the planet is. There's a whole Wikipedia page on exactly when the ages change. I'm not going to go into it. But it takes about 2,000 years. So we're coming out of the age of Pisces. We're going into the age of Aquarius. And yes, it is moving backwards through the signs. After this, we're going to go into the age of Capricorn. But that's the year 4,000, whatever. So, and you can go back in time and when up here they were complaining about, worshiping the golden calf, the age of Taurus, the bull, making sacrifices of the ram, that's Aries. Pisces, the fisher, Jesus being the fisher of men, that happened around the year 0. We're going into the age of Aquarius, which is a much more decentralized, it's a humanitarian, much more decentralized type of spirituality. So, and there's a lot more to this, but that's what we're going into. But it's going to last 2,000 years. So I should probably just do that, but then move it over a little bit so it shows up over here. But anyway, let me put this back up. But kind of political system, political parties will dominate over the next 2,000 years. Different. I was putting the cards down, and I got, instead of putting them in a row, I found myself putting one here, one there, up, down, up, in the sense of, instead of things being same old, suddenly it's a variation on the theme. It's a better way of evolving. It's an evolving type of situation, political system, making things better over time. Oh, geez. It will generally be more on the liberal side, just because you've got the humanitarian nature of Linda says, no, I meant Pluto in Aquarius. Oh, sorry. Well, maybe we'll look at that another day. And I talked about that recently, actually. If you do a search on the channel, I have talked about that fairly recently. So, so there's that. But human nature is still human nature. We won't be able to change that yet. And climate. Climate is going to be a big issue. Decisions we make. This age will probably be a lot more. It's going to be linked to us being more linked to the Earth, but also, of course, we're going to go out into space, and that's what I'm getting up here. Going up into space and going out. So we'll still be human, but After that, I don't know. Well-being announces I'm not interested in becoming transhuman or Borg. Yes, but Petrus Loretus is saying Aquarius is difficult to read for, predict, because the tech is so different. We don't have a basis for comparison. Exactly. And, it's ruled by Aquarius. And the whole kind of point of Aquarius is you never know exactly what's going to happen because part of it is the unexpected. So, okay. Linda Hauer, Space Earth. No. We're going to be more linked into our climate and linked into natural resources, being able to the humanitarian aspect and the climate, us fighting to try to stabilize the climate and what have you. So, and plus we will be going into space. All right, so at 1:16:30, let me show you. I did one of my graphics for Marjorie Traitor Greene. I need to get a drink. Hang on. Yes, Brywin is saying transhumanism isn't a hive mind. That's true. So it's not actually Borg. Mel Broussard says clean energy and a more egalitarian society is what Aquarius means. Yes, there would definitely be some of that. There is a certain amount of conformity that goes with it then. It is a fixed sign, and it isn't about my freedom, my power. That's Leo, which is opposite. It's our power as a group. So there's going to be a much more of a focus on groups. So do keep that in mind. Okay. Make this 118. So let's have a quick look at. I am going to start a blog. I finally have I've decided I am going with Squarespace after all. I was trying to do something in Notion, but no, I'm just gonna I'm updating my Squarespace website, and as soon as the blog is accessible, I will be happy to share. But I want to do some astrological stuff, and one of the things is just a base, the research I've done. I also just want a record of research I've already done. No point reinventing the wheel. Hang on, there's that. So you're gonna let me, yeah, there it is. All right. I had to make it full screen. Okay, so this is Marjorie Traitor Greene's chart. And then I have some explanations off to the side. Actually, a lot of it, I used a quote, just a flat out quote from Politico. Because this was someone who really looked at where she's from, the trials and tribulation that she's had as a person before she got into Congress. And I thought this quote was very telling. Her seat in Congress is less the fulfillment of a dream than the culmination of a desperate years-long search for an identity that fulfilled a yearning for affirmation and attention. After a decade marked by troubles at work and at home, adultery, palpable discontentedness, I added a part from another part of the article, a publicity-seeking CrossFit persona. Her roving craving for an audience found its ultimate outlet in the right-wing online community and real-world face-to-face provocation. And it's from the Politico article, Nobody Listened to Me, The Quest to be MTG. So what this is saying, and let me pull, because I think you can see my mouse. If I move this over, I think you can see my mouse when I'm, yes, you can. All right. And it's just going to pop up. That's just the name of the file. So sorry about that. It's the best I can do. All right. So when you look at anybody's chart, the first thing you're going to look at is the sun. What in her? She's a Gemini. So that's the sign of Gemini, the twins. And this is the symbol for the sun. So her sense of self is up in the 11th house. Okay, fair enough. But it's opposite Neptune down here, the trident. And when you've got your sun, your sense of self opposite Neptune, and it's only within like 2 degrees, 2 and a bit degrees. This is almost at 6 degrees, and that's at just 8 and a bit. And the sun, the luminaries, the sun and the moon are so big and so powerful that their orb of influence, their area of influence is like 10 degrees in either direction. I mean, it's big. And so this is really quite close. Neptune is going to be the formless, and it's going to be things like spirituality, art, fiction, things that don't have evidence. Right off the top of my head, I can think of a famous actor who has Neptune directly opposite his sun. And so he goes back and forth between his self and this who he plays in film or in acting, and then he goes back to being himself. And so you've got this back and forth between the two, and that's a healthy way to do that. He also has some addiction issues, though, because Neptune rules addictions and a lot of medicines that will make you loopy, that can be abused. So she's got that, and so her sense of self is going back and forth with this Neptune of, I think it's conspiracy theories, and things that don't have a basis. In fact, it's in her 5th house, which is the house of Leo, which is the house of creativity, which is the house of what you create. It's also fun, gambling, and all that kind of stuff. So well-being and health is saying she's delusional. That's you're not wrong. So that can be delusional. So that black line there. Down here, I'd written escapism at the bottom, often the aspect of actors, drug addicts, or could denote someone who loves conspiracy theories, who really embraces them with their sense of self. So back and forth, that energy. All right. A couple of other things. We're in this quote, we're talking about a yearning for affirmation and attention. Well, her ascendant, how she projects herself into the world, even though we don't have I can't remember if we have a birth time or not. I don't think we do. So her moon is somewhere around here. The moon moves 13 degrees in a day. So kind of could be 6 degrees this way, 6 degrees that way, 7 degrees. Say 7 degrees that way, 7 degrees that way. So, but it's right around here. And so it's right around her ascendant. It's in her 1st house. And I would bet you a shiny nickel that her moon, her emotional needs are in Leo, which is the sign of kings, queens. I am the leader. I am the center. I am I, me, I. And not when it goes bad, let's say not so great on the caring about other people's feelings, taking other people's feelings into consideration. So she not only projects herself, she could have been born a different time of day, that she's not a Leo rising, but I don't know. That's pretty fitting. So for what it's worth there. But what we do know is that she has this luck with power because her Pluto, which is your kind of where you have your power, how you use your power, it's in this 3rd house of Gemini. which is communication. And it's in the sign of Libra, which rules the seventh house of relationships. So, and it has this positive aspect here. So while she's got this whole delusional thing going between her sun and Neptune, like I was saying, her sense of self and the conspiracy theories, things that aren't real, all of that, there is a positive outlet she's getting from that. And the positive outlet is these positive aspects that are going to Pluto in her communication. So power in communication. So she communicates her conspiracy theories and herself, especially if there really is all this emphasis on Leo. It's all about her, of course, not really a surprise. The other thing that's making her tick, and this is known because this isn't going to change no matter what time she was born. There is up here, she has got her Venus. And normally I would say things about, because gender is a construct and a spectrum. Normally I would say it doesn't necessarily mean her femininity per se, but she is so, she herself is so gung-ho. Heterosexuality is the only thing there is, that I feel I can say this because those are her beliefs. Her own sense of femininity, Venus is what and how you love. Diamond Diana says, wow, I'm Leo, single, thanks. Leo's not bad. I'm saying when Leo goes bad. Seriously, guys, if I'm saying bad things about a sign, it's because there are good and bad sides to each sign. I'm a Scorpio. If there's anybody if there's any sign that people just generally just talk about the negative side, but no, Leos are great when they're on the good side. When they go bad, when they use their powers for evil, oh jeez. Anyway, so Venus is what and how you love. Hers is up in Aries, which is the first sign in the zodiac. It's ruled by Mars. Both Mars and Aries are names of the god of war. So she is going to like aggression. She's going to like, and she's going to express it that way, and she's going to like it. But at the same time, you'll notice that's at 25 degrees. Right here, it says 25 degrees. And right next to it, there's something at 22 degrees. And it's this weird looking thing. It's like a K with a circle on the bottom or something. That is an asteroid. It's called Chiron. Yes, exactly, Sherlock. So close to our Chiron too. Chiron is it's the wounded healer. Chiron was wounded. He has a magical wound that will not heal. And because he constantly knows pain, because he knows what pain is, he heals others of their pain because he has compassion. If, again, you're not using the positive side of that, which is to heal others, to help others with their pain because you know pain, then you just have a wound that won't heal. Her wound that won't heal is in the same place as her sense of femininity, her sense of being a woman, because she is so blindly heterosexuality is the only thing that exists. So she has this wound right there, which is probably why she, how do I put this? Ivanka, I mentioned Neptune down here, this fantasy, what isn't real, this whole fantasy. Ivanka has her Venus is in the same place as her Neptune. And it isn't, so she builds this whole construct she has turned it into a construct of femininity, which is like she's a big Barbie doll. and the plastic surgery and the whole fantasy of femininity. So you get things like that, but here it's that sense of femininity is wounded. And she's not exactly big on the whole delicate side of Venus. So and it's in Aries. So you've got the aggressive energy there. That is opposite down here, Uranus. Uranus is the rebel, rebellious, freedom-loving, thinking outside the box. And it is in Libra, which rules the 7th house up here, which is the house of relationships. So that's rough. That is a very unhappy Venus up here because of how she chooses to live her life. There are ways she could make that better, but she chooses not to. And it's fighting this unconventional relationship type energy, and all of that terrible energy flowing back and forth is getting dumped out through the top part of the T-square right here, which is Mars. And her Mars is in Cancer. So this would be an aggressive, Cancer is the big mom of the zodiac. And if you have all this really tough energy and it's funneling out through the T-square, through Mars here, this is, overbearing much. The negative side of Mars in Cancer would be really obnoxious. We need a new term. What is, I heard someone the other day call it, and because there are really nice people out there who are named Karen, but there's someone else was saying we should call it Quarren, as in the Q whole thing. So I don't know how to I can't think of a better way to put that right now. But she's got wounded femininity, thinking outside the box, rebelliousness, funneling out through this aggressive, entitled, mama bear-ish energy. So it's not fun. It's not nice. I if anything, I kind of hope she is Petrus Loretus is saying not really funneling out. The 12th house is Anne Frank territory. I understand, but we don't know. We don't have a birth time for her, so I'm not really sure which houses these are falling in, which wedges these are falling in could be quite different. So I do know that the Pluto in the 3rd house, I think maybe it's in the 3rd house. I'm hoping it's in the, because that would make sense, but it could be different. So, because yes, usually the 12th house is institutions, confinement, prison, can also be spirituality, but also a more regimented religiosity. It's not the New Age spirituality. It's the Catholic Church kind of levels of dogma. So this is kind of what's going on here. And so when I think of her, I can now in the back of my mind think, yes, her of the, I think the key thing here, and the thing we can be most sure of, the two things here are that sun, her sense of self, and her love of conspiracy, weakening her sense of self. The more she dives into these conspiracies, the more detached she is from reality. It's not good. But that Venus, that wounded Venus up in Aries, there's a lot of aggression in this chart. And there's not a lot of great gentleness, humility, or whatnot here. So yeah, we don't have a time. Yeah, right there. So, but now, I'll be putting these kinds of things. Like I said, I'll be getting I'm getting my blog together now, and I'll be putting this kind of stuff up over there. So I've made one for who we went over Ted Cruz the other day, and there's Marjorie Traitor Greene, and Petrus Loretus says Sun, Pluto, Neptune is a perfect match for QAnon. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of aggression, and it shows as well-being and health. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I hope I didn't lose too many of you. I hope that helps. But that's going to do it for me for today. It is 1:54 p.m. here in Chicago, and in 2 hours, I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel. TD, I am setting up a blog. So Helen is asking, can you do Holly? He's up to something. Oh, I plan on doing charts for all kinds of these political characters we talk about all the time. So well-being and health says that was fantastic. Oh, good. Good. All right. So anyway, that's going to do it for me for today. In 2 hours, I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel to do creative sprints. Links in the description. I hope I have not offended Leos who are here. I hope you. Maybe I should have just made that clearer. But I wasn't jumping on. I wasn't saying Leos are all bad. No, at all. But anyway, I will be right back here tomorrow to take more of your questions out of the chat. Just leave them in the chat between like 11 and 12 Chicago time, Central time in the US. And we'll keep on keeping on. So hang in there. Remember, you're not alone. And we will get through this together. There are good days ahead. There are. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. And I'll see you tomorrow.